Greetings, my friend. This is Gilles Monsieur. I'm called to make a new video today. I'm going to talk about different things. I thank you so much for your support, for supporting the channel, and for your donations. It's really, really assisting me right now because we're experiencing the opposite of everything we've been asking for. Everything we've been asking for is coming, but we have to experience the total opposite. For instance, I've been asking for abundance. I'm experiencing lack. I've been asking for loving, harmonious relationship. I'm experiencing chaos on that level. So it's like we have to accept to traverse this fourth dimension. We have to realize this dark matrix that we be part of, the third dimensional matrix, this phantom matrix that we live in, is a complete construction by the dark lords that are controlled from the fourth dimension. And so now we're like liberating ourselves by traversing this fourth dimension. Humanity is still working on on the third dimensional, the physical realm, action, reaction, the law of confrontation, opposite, the dominance, the competition, all of that. But all of the laws I'm talking about are about the fourth dimension traversing this field. There is a great book that talks about that. It's from the 14th century. It's by Dante Alighieri. It's called The Sacred Poem or The Divine Comedy, where Dante has to traverse the circle of hell to escalade the mountain of purgatory, and then he finds his beloved on paradise. And then on the top of paradise, what we call the top of the fourth dimension, we find the nirvana of experience, of existence that lead us to the fifth dimension, the total freedom and liberation. But for now, we have to experience the law of opposites. So whatever we ask for, we first have to experience the opposite of what we've been asking for, and to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And it's really it's very, very challenging. And because the earth is also using us, all the awakened fourth dimensional beings. There's like more, I don't say 144,000, but there's a lot more than that now. There are millions of beings that are awakened to transmute all of those negative, dark yet extraterrestrial programs, all the demons, the witches, the all of the negative entities, the negative programming. So the earth has no other way to transmute this experience but through consciousness of being that have came here to serve. So we're going through some very, very tense, difficult things. So expect all the revelation to come from within before they come into the media or from the government. And very important, do not wait for the outside world to confirm to you. Just get confirmation from within, from your heart on all things, although all kinds of scenarios are possible. So one thing is important to detach from the mental and the emotional, the scenario that we believe to be real, for that is a complete illusion. It is just a class. It is just a field from which we came to learn. The astral spiritual is a lot more real, what descend from the higher spiritual realm. And even there is like a lot of tests and challenges and karmic balance of energies. But everything that we experience on a mental, emotional, and physical plane is an illusion in reality. So we need to look beyond that into the non-physical realm, knowing our true home is on the higher planes, in this eternal field of love and light where God resides. But it's important to be comfortable with the uncomfortable for a while. So it says, well, you've done it all. You're perfect. You perfect for on this level. It's like, but I'm still going through a lot of intense energy. I've never been like, it's like to complete a psychic, this deep connection for 1 year. I've been through, like, it wasn't just the wind that went through my consciousness. It was a hurricane that blew everything up in my life because of this connection to this young lady. She's amazing, but she finally she gave me 6 months to receive her. I couldn't afford it, and she went on to make her life with somebody else. So it's like, everything is gone, and it's like, whoa, it's like hard to let go because there's still a magnetic attraction and memories that are here, but nevertheless, it must have been a karmic energy that needed to be balanced, and I had no choice. There was all kinds of red flags that I just didn't want it, but Spirit forced me to focalize on that. She needed that energy also to have this experience with me, but. It's like very bad to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and it was very painful to let it go. And so, but there is lesson learned, and we're learning lesson. We're growing through all this experience. God is not responsible for any of the suffering we create. It is our soul that is balancing out the energies. And but we cannot help it but to have desires. We cannot help it but to have. But we also have to let go of expectation about the future. We just need to be well in the now, and the future we want will come in the now, and then eventually will come into the physical. Sometimes it's like it takes a long time before it comes. I hope I'll make it. I'll make to see this future that my soul and spirit is showing me. Otherwise, I'll experience it on another plane or another life or something. It doesn't really matter. I had no choice but to come into this acceptance, and and accept that the earth is using all the awakened beings. So the more you awaken, the more you're gonna go through some dark things. So it's like, I'm not saying that to scare you, but it's like there's all kind of blockages, entities, dark energies, and yet the challenge is to stay in joy, to stay in a higher frequency. So it's like to balance out this energy, because it's like our challenge as light being is to stay in joy. But the more we go deeper within, the more the earth is utilizing us to charge us with this negative energy to transmute. So it is challenging. And so because there is an increase of sensibility and feeling, and as well as awakening to new senses. Yet the dark ones are completely apathic. They have the really cold heart, and for them it's like a completely different ball game. So, but we have to be true to ourselves. Personally, Spirit has shown me that many of the frustration I had in my life were due to mistakes, past mistakes that I made, or even in past life or in this life. And so I just have to have complete forgiveness for all the people that have been creating misery in my life, or that I felt was unjust because they were like all the darkest things. And it's like those people, just like let them be, and just send them love and light, and just let them go through whatever they're going to go through. They're going to, when their consciousness awaken, they will come into the realization of their mistake, and they will have to face that. Nobody can escape the consequences of their actions. So for those who do not believe in God, there is consequences to action. For there is the great laws. Well, the first law is that we exist. We no choice. We'll always exist in one form or another. We'll always be part of life. Life is never, we can never escape the law of life. We'll always be included within life. All will always be one, and one will always be all. Everything is within the one, and we are the one that is all. Every action, every thought, every words we will always get what we create. We'll always harvest the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction. The law of attraction is settled because it's like, because of this law of opposite, it's difficult, but there is a law of cause and effect. And there is the dismantlement right now of the third dimension. So it's like we have to deal with all kinds of external causes that are influencing our experience, and as well as this law of transformation. Everything is in eternal transformation except the divine law that do not change, or the creator that is infinitely perfect and will never be anything else but that. So for those who believe, but personally, I know I do not want to waste any minute, and 1 minute I'll face whatever's necessary to find my point of freedom. And it's funny because Spirit was like humoring me while I was writing that. It was 11:11 this morning. I saw on my phone, and I read this little sentence that took about 5 seconds, and all of a sudden it was 11:13. It's like I lost this 11-12 minutes. It was completely, I don't know where it went. It was just vanished. It was just maybe a game from the spirit realm. That's a joke. I wanted to talk about the Nesara Gesara. It is a law that's been implanted and is ready, but people need to be informed. Until people are informed about it, that it's like this law cannot be put in place. It's like return to a gold standards, transformation of monetary system, a redistribution of wealth, all kinds of things, but people need to be informed. The problem is most of the people that are informed, that are within all of this, the institution and the companies that are aware of that, has signed NDA, non-disclosure agreement. And so they cannot talk about it. So it's like, well, I appreciate discretion. If I have a company, that probably people will have to sign NDA to not reveal outside to other people what's going on within, but not to hide any crimes either. Right? It's not about hiding any. For a lot of there is a lot of internal things that are going on within certain of this institution that people have signed NDA. They cannot talk about it because otherwise they'll be prosecuted for against that. But so this Nesara and Sarah, I didn't sign any NDA about talking about the Nesara Gesara, so I can talk about it. There is a quantum computer that will reset all things. So, but it's closed. We just need to continue to inform people, and And personally, my only desire is my return to my source, to the paradise where I come from, my original dimension. And everything we do needs to get us closer to oneness, whether it is like making art, cooking, gardening, making love, whatever it is, it has to bring you closer to God. I have the intention that everything you do gets you closer to God. Every interaction, every connection, everything is like either it's getting us closer or it's removing us farther away. It's like everything that comes into our body is like accelerating this light body creation or slowing it down. Everything that comes out of our body, and in words, is either getting us closer to the love and light or taking a step backwards. But we cannot grow back in consciousness. And so I'm just expressing my point of view and just take whatever resonates with you. And sometimes we change our mind because we discover new things. Everything is always eternal, is changing. But there is only one real life. It is the eternal life of God, and that can never change. So don't pray to God for anything. God is already there and already conscious of all things. Just ask God to give you the courage, the compassion, the lucidity, give you the tool, the inner resources to do whatever you want to do as a creator, as a co-creator. Just go be co-creator rather than wait, go to some external God. We have to stop worshiping those false God of tyranny. This is like feeding the matrix. There is only one God, and His nature is love, and we are part of that. So it's like. So it's about getting back our power and to get access to our higher consciousness, because we're living in an anti-life culture, this death culture that was social engineering to keep the collective consciousness in slavery. So everything we do, all my projects are about awakening humanity to this new renaissance, the spirit to it, a spirit of renaissance, the naturalness of life, rather than just physical pleasure of instant gratification and materialism, returning to the balance of energy between because there is an oversight by spirit, always the light and dark are always balanced out, yet the dark has very often had the upper hand here. So because of free will, there is always transgression. Free will without lucidity, without wisdom, leads to transgression. And then transgression leads to karma. If there is no forgiveness, then it's a never-ending wheel of suffering and pain that is created incarnation after incarnation. So continue to cultivate unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness. And because we cannot take 3D illusions with us in the fifth dimension, we have to let it go, liberate it. There is a dismantlement on the fourth dimension of all kind of dark structure that were controlling the fourth dimension from the third dimension, from the fourth dimension. But we're going to be letting go of this glamour and pageantry of the Piscean age to return to spiritual simplicity. Doesn't mean that we don't love those beautiful things. We've got to find a way of transition to balance out the inner and the outer, to find the balance. It's all about balance and acceptation of the world of all that we are. I love who I am, I love where I am, I love all that I am that I am. So just repeat that to yourself. I am the light, I am the love, I am. Slowly but surely, we're going to be able to disconnect all of those programming. This programming have been around for thousands of years. Like we had hundreds of incarnations where we've been programmed, and slowly but surely, our souls have been programming us to come out of it. So this life is really an opportunity to really release all kinds of things. So the observer of the day is reparation. We need to repair. There are certain things that are broken that we need to repair, to align, but we have to allow all that is no longer working to blow apart, and to allow the universe to put it back together. So the highest wisdom is just breathing. To be conscious in our breathing, deep breaths rather than shallow unconscious breaths. Take certain time, deep breaths that are conscious. What we need to understand is our destinies, is all the destinies. What we need to do is to be here and now. And the outcome will be peace. So it is nice. Personally, I was longing for peace when I was going through this experience with this amazing young woman that I met. Somebody I had many lifetimes, many past lives with, so much connection, so much. There was a lot of love also. There was this most intense inner connection I've ever experienced, but I couldn't afford to, to, to be with her, so I had to release. I let her go. And well, and those connections will come from the Celtic, the observer of the day is the Celtic. It's the past life we had during those Celtic life, And for me, it's like it was the most important life I had with her was on this level. So the highest wisdom is to release, or is biblical. It means there is already a design plan, but we have to stop worshipping the Anunnakis, worshipping those god of punishment. We have to align with the. Well, I am aligned with Jehovah, Yahweh, Adonai, and of course Allah, but. Those higher beings, but it's all about returning to your own inner God. Your inner God doesn't have to be submissive to dogmas. It's very important to deconstruct those. Those were like humans needed the carrot and the stick. Now we need this enlightenment. So just to sign on self, be true. What we need to understand is the mother. It's the divine mother, the Sophia. She's the one that created all that. Sometimes and there was the creation of the dark was just an experimentation went wrong, and now this is like bringing everything back into order. And the divine Gaia, the Gaia Shitaya, the planet Earth. So it's like nurturing, it's about the mother. What we need to do is continue to cultivate wisdom, whichever higher wisdom. There is always new level of wisdom to be experienced. Wisdom is not something that's exhaustive. There is past wisdom, future wisdom, generational wisdom. There is all kinds of wisdom. There is the wisdom that traverses that come from spirit, the higher self, the inner self. And there's, of course, the wisdom of God that transcends all other wisdom. God is infinite in wisdom, is the only one that can probably claim that infinity of wisdom. But so we continue to cultivate our wisdom that we gain from our experience. And the outcome is to free ourselves from enslavement and imprisonment. The doors are open, we just need to come out and to stop the wars and the battles. So those are challenges, and to be like a tree, to be serene, to be stoic, to be anchored within our in the naturalness of the physical plane, as well as to reach towards the sky. And I'm going to pull a few more cards and sing a song. Thank you so very much for your presence and for your support. That's what I was called to come in today. And because it's like I went through the Holocaust, where the observer of the day is the Holocaust. It was like a hurricane. It's like this experience those past couple of days. It's been a hurricane in my life, because this connection was so strong and so powerful. To have to give it up was like... It's like I've never had to go through something so intense. It was amazing. The highest wisdom is amusement. That's kind of ironical. I'm going to be able to make up, to consolate myself. I feel like this as a message. Maybe we'll find someone else when the time comes. Because she hasn't been waiting for me on that level. And so... what we need to understand is the past. There is no escape from the past. It is a dangerous pussy. It will continue to come and bite us in the ass. And until we integrate it, until we transmute the dark, we support the light, and we're able to decipher what is the wisdom. How do we deal with the situation? Follow your guidance, the mirror of life. What we need to do is the fire of sacrifice. Sometimes we need to sacrifice something for something else, like just the way it is. Sometimes we have to let go of something so this can be replaced by something else. And the outcome is still a challenge that cannot be resolved mentally. It's a threefold riddle. The mental will not, it's not in the mental. We have to let go of this mental, emotional. We have to allow spirit to answer, to put things together, to allow through intuition, through dreams, through meditation. As we, from the fire of sacrifice, what we will gain the connection to the Mount Meru, the center of the universe. And in terms of the threefold riddle, it is just a mystical experience. It's the guardian. It's like we're being initiated into the non-physical plane that is full of paradox. There is all the opposite are coexisting within the one, in the fourth dimensional level. Before we can release all that, to remove all illusions, so we can move into the fifth dimension. On the fifth dimension, we'll still have illusions. Before we come into the sixth dimension, we'll have to remove ourselves from the illusions of the fifth dimension. And there is every time there is new illusions that we need to remove. But it's a step-by-step process, and just take it one step at a time. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to finish with a song that's not easy to sing, but I thought I pulled out of a hat. It's like, I'll take this one. And it came out. It's a love song. It's an old love song. It's called Fever. It goes like this. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I got a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun light up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and I know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever throughout the night. Everybody got the fever, that's something we all know. Fever isn't such a new thing. Fever started long ago. Romeo and Juliet, Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arm around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame. Thou givest fever when you kisses, fever with thy flaming youth. Fever, I'm a fire, fever, yea, I burn for use. Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, Daddy, oh, don't you dare, he give me fever with his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, I'm his missus, Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you listen to my story, here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever, be in Fahrenheit or centigrade. They give you fever when you kiss them, fever if you live to learn. Fever till you sizzle, what a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. Well, I completely burned out. It's like I was completely burned out by this energy. It was like, well, I can't blame her because this billionaire guy that just took her away, and it's like she made a big romantic thing on social media, very very official and all that. So fine, I'll let her go. We spend like millions of dollars on a party for just for her, and it's like, of course, it's like, can't really compete on that level. So be it. Although we had this soul connection that was a lot stronger, I don't think she's going to find as much joy and happiness as she would have been with me if she would have waited a little bit. But such is life. So the highest wisdom is protection. I'm sorry, I'm sharing some it was some very personal things, but anyway, it's the observer of the day is protection. The highest wisdom is hesitation. We'll look into it. What we need to understand is love. We're learning unconditional love. For there was a lot of love. There's like whatever love. It's just octaves of love, frequency of love. There are millions, billions of forms of love, and love is it comes from God. All forms of love come from God. So what we need to do is unity, to continue to cultivate this sense of unity. Unity first with our soul, our spirit, our guides, our source, and then with those who love the most, and then with the rest, everything. For it's like certain things we can't really integrate until we're really ready. That's like so dark. We can't just like say, well, you were one with that. But God is one with the whole. And the outcome will be reward. There will be great reward for accepting to go through all that we go through. It's like this mission on the earth will be greatly rewarded, whether it is in this physical life or afterwards, and we don't know that yet until it happens. For now, it is like, for me, it's like being comfortable with the very uncomfortable on the physical plane. To be like without resources is really annoying. It's like every day is like I have to transcend and say, well, if I have to fast, I will fast. But Still, well, I have food for a few days now, so it's okay. So it's like in terms of hesitation, we'll find the solution will come, and some of the wisdom. We're gonna gain courage, and we're gonna be able to be generous. So it's all coming, and we shouldn't. It's very important to stay positive, to stay relaxed, to allow whatever is coming, to whatever goes through you, to be in the accepting mode of whatever you need to traverse without being in conflict with yourself about it. Just transmute it. Call on the guides, call on the angels, call on the ascended masters, call on the archangels. Sometimes they can interfere because you have to deal with those things, and sometimes it is delicate. But there is always assistance the right assistance can always be provided to give you the power to learn the lesson that we need to learn, certain lessons, and to move into this empowered state that we're going to be fully integrated within this higher fifth and sixth dimension reality of galactic consciousness. Well, thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day. I hope this message was interesting for you, and I'll talk to you later. Salat.